Playbooks, yeah. All right, now this is something I know. A lot of these Madden 24 videos, they get views from both people who fit my kind of core audience, which is very heavy gameplay focused, but also some of the more sim community, more the casual, average Madden gamer. And Playbooks is something that applies to everybody. And honestly, genuinely speaking here, I think so far in the beta, right? It could change, but in the beta so far, from what I've seen a lot, but just in the beta, not necessarily on release date because we don't know. But what I think is that they're gonna actually have pretty good playbooks. There's a lot of changes in these playbooks from last year, from Madden 23 into Madden 24's beta, they really did a good job of 4 kind of key things, okay? And we're gonna talk about that. So first and foremost, one of my big things I want every single year is for the game to be different. And for me, for the game to be different, the meta needs to change a little bit. It can't be the same meta repeated, basically, or the exact same meta repeated, right? And so they actually tackled this pretty well with the playbooks of switching up a lot of the meta playbooks and then also taking gun tight and gun tight offset tight end out of a ton of playbooks that it was in before, that it basically you could run it from a bunch of different sets. They removed a lot of that, and that's a big way they'd be able to attack the meta. Before, you'd have a playbook with bunch tight end, trips tight end, and gun tight. I don't think, again, I could be wrong and they could change it, but I don't think that that's going to be the case in Madden 24, which is awesome. That means they are actively attacking the meta. I'm a huge fan of them attacking the meta, making it have to be different. Because let's face it, when we go into gameplay, we all try to do the same thing that we did last year. It makes sense. It's what we're comfortable with. And they are attacking that. I think they did a great job. Now, the next thing I want to say that they did is they've been able to add totally new formations. This is very cool. Obviously, there really is only a limited amount of formations that you can really have in the game as a whole before you start just barely, faintly messing with splits. Is doubles Y flex and doubles, gun doubles and gun doubles Y flex really that different? Not really, right? Is gun trio really much different than gun trips tight end? Not really. We're just talking about splits a little bit, right? We're just talking about who's on the line of scrimmage, who's off the line of scrimmage. Are they different? Sure, but are they crazily different? Not really, you know what I mean? They're pretty similar, and so EA does have its hands kind of tied with that, but they've done a good job actually in the beta of adding pretty new and unique formations into the game that I'm very, very pleased to see. And they've actually done it in a way where a lot of times when they've done it in the past, it's like formations I'll have like 3, 4, 5, 6 plays, and they're all kind of bad. They're all kind of like, I'll never call this play. It's not even like a... there's obviously always levels to how good a formation is, and then they'll add formations that are just like, these just can't be good ever. You'll never call this. And I really think in the beta, that they've done a good job adding some of these formations. The most notable one, which has been talked about before or something, is this. It is only 3 or 4 plays, but it's pretty cool out of the Saints playbook. It's a stack on the right. Or a triple stack on the right, so 1, 2, 3, and then just a stack on the left out of empty. And there's some unique plays in that. It's pretty cool. If I wasn't terrified of getting a strike on my channel, I would draw these plays out, but I'm not gonna do that. Or these formations out, but I'm just not gonna do that. But they've been able to add a lot of new, straight new stuff, right? The second thing they were able to do is they did something I feel like they should have done a long time ago, and they do it for some formations, right? So gun deuce close, right? We all know there is a formation called gun deuce close. There's a formation called single back deuce close, but there's never been a pistol deuce close. They've added stuff like that into the game where, like gun tight doubles, there's now a single back tight doubles. There's now a pistol deuce close. They've kind of made it go into different sets. It's kind of what I'm getting into of these meta formations or, these formations. They've added them to different sets, which I think is good. It just adds variety. It adds different ways that different players can play the game. I think it's only a good thing. Even if they're the exact same plays, be able to run gun deuce close be able to run deuce close, right, from single back, pistol, and gun, and having the ability to do all 3, which all have their own little advantages and disadvantage, I think is awesome. And they've done that for a decent amount of formations too, which I think is great. Those aren't obviously entirely new formations, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, pistol deuce close is a totally new formation. Yes, it is, and EA counts it as that, but you know what I mean? It's not, but it's awesome still. I love that. I think that's such a great thing that they have added. I'm very, very pleased about it. And I think it just adds to replayability, adds to more, it just adds to the game. It's something that they could have done a long time ago, and they didn't, and I was very upset. I was very, like, confused why they never did, and they did it. The Playbook guy this year, he's been in his bag on offense. He really has been in his bag on offense, right? So we've covered so far brand new formations, kind of changing up sets, going into, different, whether it be single bag, pistol, gun, and we talk about them attacking the meta. The next thing they've done, and I think this is huge, is they have added a bunch of plays to formations, okay? They've added a bunch of plays to different formations. Again, I guess using deuce close as another example. Gun deuce close, one of the biggest limitations of why it could never be a super high level comp formation is because it never had a deep post route. Okay, reason that's important is that is a huge chunk play, huge bomb route. Whether it's against man coverage or zone coverage, you use deep post to do that, right? And if you didn't have that in gun deuce close, it was very hard to get one. You basically had to motion the wide receiver out, post him, motion him back in. Even that wasn't great. They've added that. They've added a play with that, and they've added some other plays like that. They've added a bunch of plays that I think actually add value to these different formations, and I think it's genuinely really cool and really unique. And I think it actually adds a ton of really good stuff to the game. I'm super pleased about it. They've added a lot of new plays. Will there be a lot of filler stuff? Yes. I think they said they added 70 new formations. It's going to be a lot of filler plays, right? There's going to be a lot of, there's a couple doubles formations that they added that are like, the plays are basically the same. It's basically all the same. It's just like whatever, which is fair, right? They added it. Awesome. Thank you, EA, for adding it. But no one's getting their panties. No one's getting excited over it, right? But one thing I could say is they added a bunch of like X nasty formations, which is basically whenever you'd have a formation that would have like an ISO wide receiver on one side, so just one wide receiver on one side, and he'd be split out wide. Nasty, they call it, is with that wide receiver stuff being out wide, moves into the slot. So there's now a single back wing tight X nasty. And you might be saying, well, who cares? There's actually a big difference with that. In that X nasty, or that wide receiver being in with a tight split now, maybe 3 yards away from a tight end, whatever it is. He now has the ability to attack the field way better, right? He can cross the field better. He can now be on corner routes. He can be a seaman demon. I'd rather have that guy compressed than out wide, and they do it for a lot of different stuff, right? There's now gun bunch nasty out of gun, which they've had single back bunch X nasty for a while. Now they have gun bunch X nasty. They have gun bunch halfback strong X nasty. They have a bunch of other things too. I think they probably have some pistol ones too. That's really cool. I want to say they've added some new screenplays as well. And the other thing they've added is, one thing, if you ever ran any of these power runs, I can't think of what they're called, but strong powers in pistol, and they have the front side guard pulling and the backside guard pulling. That backside guard was pretty much useless. They just didn't get out far enough, fast enough in Madden. Now they've added these pin and pull sweeps where the center is now pulling, and some of these sweeps are actually pretty good. And it's like, oh, how cool. I thought they did a really good job with that. It seems like they added some new RPOs, new plays across the board. I'm genuinely excited. I think this is something that everybody, regardless of how pessimistic you want to be about the game, this is a positive thing. It's a positive thing. Positive. If you leave a comment on this video being negative, you just do not like Madden that much. That's okay. But you are currently watching a Madden video. Go, do some push-ups. But no, on defense, it doesn't seem like they added much. But again, it's the beta, so they could add some more stuff. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very pleased with some of the additions in that realm. Let me know what you guys think if you've played the beta. And we'll see you in the next one. Hey, by the way, hit the subscribe button.